Cool.
Oh, actually talking, yes. Hey, everybody. This is Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch here with Donna from Melfina's Magic. And
Hi.
there's nobody here yet because there's no chat going. Please say, as you come in, please say hello and tell us what's on your hook and what's in your cup. So give me 1 second. I need to make sure to pause this. There we go. And make sure that I get the full chat. There we go. I forgot to do that a minute ago. And I'm going to do those.
Yeah, I was really hopeful I could find some Rudolph.
For those coming in or those watching on replay, we're talking about Ollie's and the sale that they have going on right now, which has all the different kits. And I know some people have found Rudolph, and I want one really, really badly. I know one person who told me she got one. I want to see if maybe she can go back and check for me. But most of them who've had kits, they're out of them. I think my husband bought the last 4 kits that our Ollie's had today. He got 2 more peanuts and 2 more, what did he say it was? Frosty, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, and if mine had any, the one in Dover had any to start with, there was nothing left.
Right. And I've heard people say that theirs are out already. So we were very lucky that he was able to get the couple that he got today. So I'll start with questions once we have people start coming in. So, hi, Kathy. How are you doing? Welcome in. She says, hi, AJ and Donna, drinking water and blanket on my hook. And Terry is here, and Anna's crochet idea. She says, hello, ladies. Hello, Terry. How are you doing?
Hi, Terry. Hi, Kathy.
We were just talking about Ollie's and what my husband was able to find. And Donna went to Ollie's in her area today and what she was able to find. There's my hook. I lost it. Oh, my goodness. I was crocheting in the car today. And I went to pick something up and I put my arm up like this and my sleeve was all the way up and I'm like, what in the world just fell in my sleeve? My hook went from my headband that I was working on, fell straight down my sleeve like that. I was
funny.
Like, what is that in my sleeve? And that tickles. And I was so glad I didn't go like this because I would have threw it like through the entire car because I was in the back seat by then. I have had a day, let me tell you. So, how's everybody else doing today? Let me know. Let us know in the comments. And how was your day other than going to Ollie's today?
Well, I was just disappointed. There were a few, there were a few things of yarn left. There was a ton. Did you have that furry yarn? Did yours have that furry yarn?
I don't think we had furry yarn, but we had a lot of blanket yarn.
Oh, I didn't have any blanket yarn. I'd have loved to have found that. We had
that was another thing I had shown you that we had that day too. Again, you didn't know how much I had to spend, so
they had a ton of the furry yarn in odd colors like sienna brown, and they had a baby sport yarn in a really bright coral.
Yes,
they had a
we
ton
had that
of
here. I was like, if it was any other color, I would have picked that up.
And then they had a furry yarn in that mustard yellow color that you know I don't like.
But that I love. So one of our differences. For those of you who do not know, if you're coming in or on repeat, Donna and I call each other twinsies because we have a lot in common. But every once in a while, we find some things that we're completely opposite on. So I love yellow. My favorite color of yellow is buttercup yellow, almost the color that I have our names in here, but not
Oh,
quite.
that's a pretty color.
And but I do like mustard yellow, and especially if it's used with the right colors with it.
And
so, Donna does not.
and I participated in Lori the Armchair Chef's October Mystery Yarn Challenge, and I got a small amount of forest green, a small amount of a dark chocolate brown, a very small amount of a pale yellow, and then 2 1-pound skeins of sienna and mustard brown. That mustard, I call it baby puke yellow.
Well, it depends on what colored mustard it is. Some mustards look pretty and others not so much.
No, this was the baby puke color. But if you check out Lori the Armchair Chef, or you go on my channel, you'll see what I basically had to do. I had to get creative because I wanted to be able to make something I would like. And so I paired the colors up in twos. And the entire project is done with 2 colors mixed together. And I made a sweater and I made a scarf and hat set that matched. And I actually ended up liking the final product. I designed all 3 and I really ended up liking all 3, although they're still not colors I'm going to wear. I really ended up thinking they were very pretty.
Yeah, I was just looking at the pictures I sent to you guys when I was there. When I was there, they had the Karen, I want to say bulky cake, but that's not quite the name of it. And then they had Karen cotton cakes. They had another one, Karen tea cakes.
They had one Karen tea cake that was a total mess.
Okay. They had 2 of the crystal cakes. They had the one baby sport in Bernat. Okay, they did have furry yarn. I just didn't remember it. I'm looking at it. It's white. Then we had some other impeccable that they had left from the last time they had yarn. And they also had the scrubby cotton Bernat yarn. And then on the other side, they had Bernat, 3 different colors of the Bernat like tweed blanket yarn. And like one skein of a different color of a light blue. They had a really, I don't know, I would say probably, it's not navy and it's not royal. So
somewhere in between.
Yeah, kind of. And then a really pretty light blue that they only had one skein of. And then they also had big skeins of, I think the big coral one was the Bernat baby. And then the other one, I can't remember. I had told you what it was, but I don't remember. And they had, it looked like the kind that you, like the hook it stuff. Is that the name of it? The ones that you like, you have to put the loop it.
Oh, the
is
loop
what
it
looks like, but I don't know if that's what it was. Then they had velour yarn as well.
Now, see, mine had no velour yarn. They had those little, they make the little cakes that have like 5 little cakes in a row. They're like little miniature skeins that are all drawn up and connected. And there's like 20 yards of each color.
Okay.
Which I was totally not interested in that. I mean, and it was funny because they were all black they were all the same exact color, all 5 sections, but they were all separate sections.
Huh.
And I'm thinking, why would you cut it in 5 sections and put 5 sections of the same color in one strip?
I was going to say a strip like that, if it was, oh, you're talking about, oh, no. I think when it's a single color, they don't put it into strips. I know what you're talking about, I think.
Now, this one specifically said each one was 20 yards of that one color, and it listed each one separately, not just one color.
Okay, Ambi just came in, says hello from my creative corner of creation. Hello, Ambi.
Hi, Ambi.
So it wasn't a Karen product?
I don't know if it was a Karen product or not. I remember telling Terry what it was.
Was it in a braid?
Yes, it was in a braid type layout.
Okay, because
there was a tag at the top and then 5 little loop sections, almost like you took a mini loop and you folded it into a C and you connected it, and then you put another one and another one and another one.
Right. From my understanding, when they do the single colors on those, they're not separated. But when they do the multicolors, because I have a multicolor one that I got, and I thought it was more than just 20 grams per each one, but maybe I'm wrong, because I wanted to do a specific pattern that called for them. So I have like 2 different ones that has the 5 different colors on it, because we used to have the black here and I wanted to get it, but they still had it for like $4.99, and I was like, I am not paying that much money for that, because it's been discontinued in the States for a couple of years, but it's like, I don't know, a year ago it was brand new overseas.
If I go back to Dover, I'll pick it up for you.
Oh, it's okay. I can live without it. It's not like I don't have plenty of black yarn.
But the way it was laid out exactly like the ones with 5 different colors were. So I didn't see how it could possibly be connected as one.
I don't know. Piece. I was just told that it's connected, that they braid like a braid. So I don't know, because like even those pieces, they braid them together, unless it's a different yarn than what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
Yeah, and it specifically had 5 different sections and 5 colors, all identical, each identical, but 5 different ones matched to each of the different sections, which made me think it was, for some reason you had separated them.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Don't know. I didn't want to take it one apart to find out. Okay. That would have been rather rude.
Yeah, and then not buy it. Yeah, I get it.
And then they had 2 of those tiny, just 2 of the tiny amigurumi cakes with multicolors with the heart in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The croquettes.
Yeah.
And
the ones that I got that I was giving as prizes.
Yeah, they had 2 that were not very pretty color combos.
It was probably the hamburger ones. Because at ours, when they had them, we had the ones that made either 2 unicorns or the ones that made like 2 hamburgers. I was like, that's not in colors I think that I need. So I only got the unicorn ones. But then later I was like, well, maybe I should have, because sometimes I need those colors.
Now, what were they full price?
Full price. I want to say when they're full price, they're like close to $6.
Okay, so I was thinking $2 for that little amount of yarn was kind of expensive if it was supposed to be discounted, but maybe it isn't.
$1.99 is what I paid for mine, and I was very happy to pay it. Because you have to remember, it's smaller yarn that's in there. It's not worsted weight yarn. So it's not really a small amount of yarn. It's enough to make 2 amigurumis.
Okay.
So, and then some people have some left over. So, Okay. Let's, I guess, get started. For those of you, I just want to preface tonight with letting you guys know, my best friend here at home, unfortunately, at midnight last night, this morning, whichever you call it, her husband passed away. So I've been in a car all day today with her, going to get her mom from the airport, but I did not want to reschedule this because I knew I'd be home right in time and I kind of needed my friends, my subscribers, and my support. So I've been support to her all day and I kind of needed my support when I got home. So I didn't want to cancel. But if my brain like just goes off for a second, please forgive me because I'm not thinking very well right now. So, um, again, let's welcome Donna from Melfina's Magic, Crochet, Cooking, etc. So, Donna, how long has your channel been up for now?
Well, I had my channel with no content for probably 3 or 4 months before I added my first content. I think I added my first content about two and a half months ago. Sometime I think in maybe it was August, late August.
Okay.
And I've got a variety of stuff. If you like,
You're taking one of my questions, but go ahead.
If you like hot challenges, I've got Little Nitro, the world's hottest gummy bear challenge that I did with my 2 neighbor kids. Wow.
That was a very funny video.
And I still have to do the 1 chip challenge. I have my 1 chip challenge. The purple yarnivore sent me, when I said I wanted to do the 1 chip challenge, she sent me my 1 chip. I just haven't done the challenge yet. I think that'll be in the next couple days. I'll do the challenge.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that one because let me tell you guys that she did the nitro, was that what it was? The nitro challenge with her neighbor kids. And it is so funny. You have to watch it because one of them was, sat down and was like, well, this isn't going to bother me. So you need to go and watch and see what happened. It was pretty hilarious. So, how is your channel doing? What has recently been going on as far as subscribers?
Well, I just hit 98 or 99 subscribers.
Awesome.
So I'm going to be putting together a 100 subscriber giveaway in probably the next week. And then I'll do a video and I'll post the video. I just kind of sort of want to make sure if I hit it, it looks like it's maybe going to hold out.
I get that. I did that with mine as well. So if any of you have not watched her, please go check out Donna's channel. And if you like it as much as I do, please give her a subscribe and let her help get over that 100 hump, which actually I thought that she may have made it past 100 today. So I was kind of expecting to hear her say that she hit 100.
I didn't look today because I had the day before yesterday, I had 99. And then yesterday when I looked, I only had 98.
Well, I just looked. Do you want to know what it is?
What is it?
You're at 101.
Woohoo! I guess it's time for me to get my 100 subscriber video posted.
So congratulations for hitting 100.
That's awesome.
I
said, I know you tend to go up and down, 1 or 2 here and there.
Yep. YouTube does that sometimes. They give them, then they take them away. And I mean, they even unsubscribe people who don't want to be unsubscribed. So it has no rhyme or reason.
I've actually had that happen where it unsubscribed me to somebody and I was like, why am I not getting notifications anymore? Mm-hmm. And then I went and looked and it had unsubscribed me.
I had that happen to me too before. And I was like, did you unsubscribe me from your channel? And they're like, no. So I got resubscribed, and they were like, we were wondering if you were upset and unsubscribed, because I always do, always keep mine public. So,
Okay.
but awesome. I am so excited. Yay.
That's cool. And for everybody who's here, I am drinking my usual Diet Dr. Pepper, which technically I'm not supposed to have, but and actually I think they just cleared me to have it. And I'm working on my November Mystery Yarn Challenge. It's a blanket.
Awesome. And I have two different kinds of teas and 2 cups because I came home wanting hot tea, and we had just stopped for me to finally, I went all day without anything to eat. And we stopped at Starbucks on the way there, and I figured we were supposed to go out to dinner, but she's not in any mood to go out to dinner, which I understand. And then her son called and said, I want to make you and grandma dinner because she was picking up her mom. And so, I was like, that's fine with me. All I need is a protein bar. We can stop along the way. I can pick up a protein bar. Well, of course, she wanted to get out of Chicago because traffic, first of all, it's a Friday. Some people are off for a week because of Thanksgiving next week. So traffic was horrendous because it was rush hour. And so she wanted to get out of all the traffic. So I didn't say anything, but finally we were out, and I thought we would have stopped at least 20 minutes before we did, but we made it to Michigan City, which is only half hour to 45 minutes from my house. And I was like, can we please, can we stop so I can get a protein bar? Because I meant to slip it in my bag this morning and just take one of my own, and I forgot to do it. And it was fine. I ended up having to use the restroom anyway, and so did her mom. So, she was like, sure, we can. She was like, I am so sorry. And I was like, no, you were, it was a very hard day for her, of course. And besides the fact that she had to pick up her mom, her daughter, well, it was supposed to be just her one daughter, but both daughters and her son went to the funeral home to try and do that stuff, but they had stuff that they had to ask her that they couldn't do. So they were calling, just all the calls back and forth. And then they started texting me because it was things that, like they needed their dad's social security number, and they couldn't understand her on the phone because she was talking really softly, and it was really loud because we were in so much traffic. So, she was like, please text this to my daughter. And she read the number out to me. So then I became, the liaison person between them, going back and forth. They sent pictures of, like guest books and stuff like that, and different things. So it was nice. It kept us both busy. It was starting to get too dark to crochet anymore. So I finished a headband while I was there. And I'm working on my second one now. And this is for a challenge that Cozy Cottage Crochet is doing. She just finished a pattern for this. And if you buy her pattern, and you can enter the challenge, it's only for November. But for as many as these that you get done, you get an entry into the challenge. So, and it's made with super bulky yarn, so it really doesn't take that long. So, and then my husband was so gracious today because, of course, he's, close, and we used to go to dinner and everything with my friend and her husband, quite a few times. And he went to Ollie's for me to look for some things. And then he went to Hobby Lobby because I called them looking for a specific yarn. They set it aside for him to come and get because I have an order. So I'll be making one of these headbands actually for an order. And I will be desensitizing myself. For those of you who have been watching me, you know what that means. I cannot handle soft yarns because it takes all of the moisture out of my hands. But this yarn is gorgeous. I mean, I love it.
Beautiful color.
And the color is eggnog, and I love eggnog. So, but it's effortless super bulky by Yarn Bee, and this stuff is very, very, very soft to where I'm holding it like this right now with my fingers, and 80% acrylic and 20% alpaca. So I promised him that if he picked out the yarn, the color, that I would get it and make it. So I have got to do it in this. So hopefully, I keep on saying I want to desensitize myself. So this will be a good step in that direction. So.
And see, that's one of our reverse twinsies issues, because I love super plush, super fuzzy, super soft yarns of all kinds. That they're my preference. And
Yeah.
the only yarn I can't work with is non-superwash wool, because they break out in hives. So I can work with the superwash because the chemical treatment of it softens the fibers enough and chemically alters them that I can use it. But non-superwash wool is, I can't wear it. I can't use it. I just can't. So and it's beautiful yarn for, like, socks and slippers. Very, very durable. I'd love to be able to use it to make extremely durable slippers, but it's not happening.
I was very grateful because she got some. I mean, I wasn't grateful that she couldn't use it. And I didn't know that it did that to her at the time she sent it to me. So I just thought she sent it to me because she remembered that I wanted to find some sock yarn, and she had gotten some and she sent it to me, and I get to make, I don't know if I'll make socks out of it, but I will definitely make myself a pair of slippers out of it.
It was a combo. It was because I knew you wanted sock weight, and it was a beautiful sort of a tealish blue color.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's a pretty color that you like. Maybe not your favorite, because it isn't, but it's a color that you like.
Well, as I say, because when people think of sending me yarn, if they want to personalize it for me, they think your favorite color is yellow, so you're going to want yellow. And it's like, no, yellow is my favorite color, but I really don't crochet with it as much. I may get different, like striped yarn or whatever that has some yellow in it and everything, but I don't particularly buy a lot of yellow. I do some, and I had enough to make well, then I had to buy more because I guess I thought I had enough to make a top with this summer, but it turned out that they were wrong on how much yarn we needed, which turned out to be a good thing now, since I may be having surgery to take off my excess skin. So I'm going to be a totally different shape and won't need as much yarn anyway to make the top. So, yeah, I tend to buy other colors, either colors that other people like, but myself, I love all colors. The only color that I ever say that I think that, of course I would not want would be like a pukey green, like even chartreuse wouldn't be bad if it's not like a pukey chartreuse. So let me see. Kathy said cute headband. Thank you. Let me go back up a little bit. Kathy said beautiful blanket. Ambi said the blanket is pretty. And then she said, you've had a day. Yes, I have. Thank you, Ambi. Kathy said cute headband. Thank you. And Ambi said awesome on the headband. Thank you, Ambi. And she said, so you can't use Karen cakes? Well, yeah, I can use, it depends on the Karen cake, because they're not all soft. Unless that question was for Donna, and if that's the case, they're not all wool either. So actually most of them I think are 100% acrylic, aren't they?
There are some blends, but even with the blends, I think it depends for you on exactly how soft is it.
Well, right, the softness, but I was talking about you and using them yourself.
Yeah, for
if they
me,
were
I
blend.
can use alpaca. I can use merino wools. I can use Superwash wools. There have been occasionally a wool that isn't a superwash but is treated, um, like color treated with something
Uh-huh.
that sort of coats it, that allows me to work with it. But in general, if it's just plain like virgin wool, it's a no-go for me.
Okay, I get it. But yeah, I mean, like, some of the thicker Karen cakes aren't soft at all. They just feel like regular yarn. Um Now I did buy latte cakes because, as most of you who watch me know, I am disabled. I'm at home. I'm not supposed to be driving. As my friend said today, it's not a restriction on my license. And she's like, "Really? It's not a restriction? Then why aren't you driving?" It's not that easy. The doctors don't want me driving right now, so I do believe if I went out driving and they knew it, they would put it as a restriction. So follow their advice. But they said if my family works with me and we start driving outside, then he would let me drive. Well, there's a lot changing in my life right now. First of all, he's retiring. So he's not going to be my doctor anymore after the end of the year. But also, my husband is the one who is kind of holding back on me driving. So it still may be a while to talk him into it. And it's winter. So I'm not going to be driving right now anyway. So I have until spring to work on him and really get him to see I'm ready. I'm really ready to start driving again. But because of the fact that I can't drive, I have to order most of my yarn from home. Actually, pretty all of it still right now because I've been on a freeze and he does not like me looking at the yarn when we're at Hobby Lobby. There are 2 times that he was like, okay, like this time he went and he got this because it's for an order and I did not have what the person wanted. And the other time was when it was on sale and we were there getting beads for me to make stitch markers with, which he's been very, very into that. I mean, he looks at everything when we go to get beads and stuff. And he loves looking at the charms. So it's really funny to see the difference. It's like yarn, but beads and charms and things. Oh yeah, look at this, honey. Isn't this pretty? Look at this. Look at this. It's like I'm really surprised. But I needed a specific color to be able to make a Pokemon um, amigurumi for my daughter's boyfriend. So Ambi said that the question was for you. She said after the so you can't use Karen cakes, not carrot cakes. Um, she says, well, what I saw was acrylic and wool. And she said the question was for Donna. And she says, you just be careful, is what she's telling you.
Yeah, I do. I have to read labels. And I don't make a big issue out of it. If there's a giveaway going, and it's wool product only, I will make a comment for the giveaway and I'll say, if it's not superwash and there's no alternative, please disregard my entry.
Mm-hmm. Well, see,
or I'll enter for it and give it away.
Those of you who watch me, you know that I also have a group in Facebook where I set up, where's my mind going, video chats. And that is how I met Donna. It's how I met Terry, who was here, but I think that she had to leave for a minute. And Ambi and Ambi I met before that, and Kathy. We all met in this group, and she keeps it under wraps so much that we've been exchanging boxes with everybody, like for Christmas and birthdays and different things here lately. Welcome, Terry's back. She says I'm back.
Hey.
And I was the first to meet her and get to know her, but none of us knew that she had any aversion to wool. So I know that at least 1 or 2 people sent her out some things with wool. So now they're going, can you use it? So we had no idea at all. But anyway, but we talk about just about everything else. So, what else did I want to ask you? Um, what's the first channel that you watched on YouTube that you remember? And it doesn't have to be crochet related.
Dr. Pimple Popper. Dr. Sandra Lee. I had seen her show on TV, and she mentioned she had a YouTube channel. And I love her show on TV. So I went looking for it. And then when I went looking for it, a crochet channel popped up. And if I remember correctly, it was Creative Grandma. Okay. Glenda, who is Creative Grandma. And so once I subscribe to Creative Grandma, of course, it starts suggesting channels.
Mm-hmm.
And it suggested a few more channels, and I started watching a few more channels, and then it was really funny because a Turkish channel that is tutorials only popped up. And I watched a couple of her tutorials, and then I went, Bir iki üç dört beş altı yedi sekiz on. Okay, that's 1 through 10. I can do her stuff. I actually learned Turkish 1 through 10 and then 10 through 20 by watching the channel. And I've learned to recognize the terms for the single and the double and the whatever. And now I can do her tutorials. So now I'm watching Turkish tutorials.
That is so cool because I've actually found some Turkish and, well, not just Turkish, but Indian and different ones that I watch them, and I would love to be able to learn on their tutorials. Now, some of them actually use captions. And so I could do theirs, but others have them turned off, and I have no idea what they're saying.
I can probably help you with that.
Okay, well, I don't even know if I have them anymore. A couple of them I just got frustrated and I unsubscribed from them because I was like, I have no idea. I'll never come back and I'll never, try anything. But I will keep that in mind in the future.
And again, then I went looking for German ones and Dutch ones and French ones because I can understand them. But the Turkish ones were funny, and I guess I shouldn't have been surprised because a lot of your wool products, if you read them, they're made in Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that the Turkish, and there's a lot of Ukrainian and Bulgarian ones too, because there's a lot of yarn made in Turkey and Bulgaria. So.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to figure out why my Nightbot's not working because it should have been dropping our stuff by now. So what do I want to ask?
Well, what was your first crochet channel, or what was your first YouTube channel?
Oh my goodness. First YouTube channel?
What was the first one that you watched?
I'm trying to remember because it's been quite a while. I was bedridden after my accident in 2011 for a while. What was I watching on YouTube? I don't remember what my first channel was, but then my daughter was watching all the YouTubers, and so I would get the names from her, and I would watch them just to make sure that they were okay for her to watch. One of them, which leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths right now, was Shane Dawson. And a lot of beauty gurus. I love Nikki. Oh, she's from the Netherlands, and I can't think of her whole name now. It's been a while since I've watched her. But I got into then watching them because my daughter was into watching them because at one point in time she wanted to be a cosmetologist. Um, and then all of a sudden one day, after I had been going from different YouTuber to YouTuber, and like Trisha Payta, which also she leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths, and oh, who was it? She, and I can never remember the name of Bunny. She's also no her subscribers are, she's something to do with crocodile. I can't remember her name. I was gonna try to find it again. I know if I go on my personal one, I can find it. Um, love her. She does all of the as seen on TV things. She tries them all out, and some of them are hilarious. Um, but anyway, I used to watch Bunny all the time. I mean, all the time. I didn't miss anything. And she'd do unboxing, she'd do so many things. She had over 1 million subscribers, I think, for a while. She started going down. Um, but that's what got me into thinking, well, maybe someday, I actually thought my daughter might start a channel and then she didn't. And I always thought that would be so cool, but what would I ever do? And then out of the blue one day, my first crochet channel came up. So, and I can't even remember who that is, but I know she had me, one of the people that she told people to go watch was, Kim from Affordably Crafty. And that's when I started watching her. And then I started watching Ginger. And then I went off in a whole different direction on other people that Ginger knows, like Melanie from Hook to the Left, who is one of my absolute favorite people. And at some point in time, I ran into no catchy name, or
Ella.
yeah, Ella. I love Ella, and she's like my absolute favorite channel.
I
And
love
then
June
one day,
bugs.
I love her baby, yeah. I love her son too. He's amazing. Um and then I ran into Cozy Creative, the one that I said this. And now I'm not thinking of her name. Cozy Cottage Crochet. And her name is Hannah, and they're down in Florida, and she has a new baby who's a year old, Nova, and she's just the sweetest. So, yeah, show me some babies and I and I'm going to stick around for a while cuz I'm a sucker for the babies. Um oh, I had something else I wanted to ask you, and now my brain is taking oh, Ambi is telling people Donna knows all these languages because growing up her dad was in the military.
Yeah, I spent 12 years living in Europe, so I had a wild and crazy childhood.
Oh, I see why Nightbot's not working now. I had it logged in and it logged back out. So let me get this real quick. So, besides doing the challenges, what other kind of crochet channels do you like to watch?
I love to watch tutorials. I like to learn new stitches and new techniques. I do Tunisian crochet. I do regular crochet. I'd like to start to learn to knit again. I did a little bit when I was younger, but I started to love crochet so much the knitting lost out. I'm basically an ADHD crafter. I like to learn anything new about crafting, jewelry making, woodworking, painting. I'm very interested in oil acrylics. I have a few
Okay.
channels I watch with that. I love the idea of doing yarn dyeing. So I have several people that I follow that do yarn dyeing. Thrift and Stitches is one. Um, I like to see how they develop the colors and the different methods for working with it. So that's one of the things that you did on one of your earlier videos was
Mhm.
yarn dyeing, and that's kind of sort of caught my attention. So I like a little bit of everything. I watch woodworking channels. Uh, there's a couple channels where people go around and give free yard care, where they mow and they trim and they transform yards for seniors and veterans and people
Mhm.
who can't afford it. I'm into a variety of things. I love the tech channels where they show you new gadgets and gizmos.
Awesome. Yeah, my favorite dyer is Rebecca from Chemnitz, and that's where I learned how to do. I just learned how to do basic dyeing, which is the dyeing with Kool-Aid and food coloring. So, and I do plan to do some more. I have some base left. Um, when I got into it, they had a sale, and I had to buy. I think I bought 10 hanks, which was a lot, because it cost quite a bit, but that was a lot for me at the time. Can't remember if it's no, it had to have been about 10 hanks, because I think I have about 5 left. Yeah, that would be right. I colored 2, and then the next time I colored 3, so that would leave me about 5 left. Yeah, because I think I bought a couple on their own as well, but oh, actually, I did, because I got the Kids on Knit Crate that Rebecca did, that they had her teaching people how to dye on back right when COVID started, and Knit Crate didn't have yarn for like the first crate. They sent out blank yarn with Kool Aid, and had like a couple paragraphs in there from Rebecca on how to dye it. So yeah, I had some from there too. So I may have more left than I even think. And I would like to dye some at some point and make some gifts out of it again for certain special people. And I was hoping to do it this Christmas, but now with everything going on, I don't know. I don't know what to expect for the next couple weeks. So I know that the memorial service for my friend's husband, they wanted it as soon as possible. They were hoping for this Sunday or Monday, but now it's looking like it's going to be the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So Ambi says, one of the channels I watch, she always says, I'll do any craft once and twice if I like it. That is cool. I love different crafts too. So, um, tell me, on your channel right now, do you have like anything that you're doing on a scheduled basis
I
yet,
don't have
or are you
anything.
still feeling it out?
I don't have anything specific that I'm doing on a scheduled basis yet. I'm beginning to line up the idea of doing some maybe some stitch tutorials dealing mostly with like combo stitches, stitch combinations, rather than, there's a million of them out there with single and double and triple and half double and chainless half double foundations and things like that. I'm kind of looking at combining stitches and doing stitch combos, and coming up with stitch combos, or showing how to do certain stitch combos, because I like the idea that even as a beginner with basic beginning knowledge, if you can do single, half double, double, there are so many stitch combinations you can do even as a beginner that you can
Hmm.
master. And I'd like to be able to sort of demystify them and make them easier for a beginner to understand, walk you through the basics, including how to figure out your chain counts and your multiples, and then how to figure out your, your stitch combo multiple. If you're using one stitch that requires a two stitch count and one stitch that requires a 3-stitch count, you can join the two of them up with a 6-stitch count, and sort of helping people figure that out so that they can use the different combinations together.
Okay. That sounds kind of interesting.
And then I've thought about doing repair, maybe doing some tutorials on repairing.
Yes. I know there are a few of us who want you to do that. I still need to find the yarn from my grandma's scarf so you can help me repair that. I thought I found it, and then I'm like, oh no, that's not it. That's not what I used. So I think I still have some scraps somewhere. I just need to find where they're at. And Ambi says, yes, please. Yes, please. We have all of us who are on the video chats. We've all watched her, and we're just like, wow, how do you do that? So yeah, I think you would have a great turnout if you did that, because it's something you don't really see them teaching right now. So at least I haven't seen anybody doing tutorials on that yet. Not to say there's nobody, because at the time that I say I haven't seen somebody do this, it's like then I start seeing everybody do that. So like at the time that I had never known of anybody who was disabled who had a channel. And then I found Chronically Crocheting. And then I found, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 others after that. So yeah, sometimes it's just if you're not looking for it yet, you haven't seen it. So I did have some basic questions that I wanted to ask, and now they're like floating out of my head. Oh, I know you had some makes that you have around you that you were going to show. So would you like to show us some of the things that you've made?
This is one of the ones I'm working on now. This is a blanket that is done with, it's commonly called the blanket stitch. It's a combo of single and 2 doubles in one spot. You skip 2 spaces and then you start over with a single and 2 doubles in one spot. This is done in, this is Premier puzzle yarn in the colorway of Jigsaw, but I'm sort of picky. This particular color had too much brown in it for me, for my liking, and I'm tentatively making this for myself, although from experience, I seldom end up keeping anything for myself. And so this one was done with me in mind. So I took anything that was straight brown without a mixed color in it. I took it out. So I've pieced it. And I can tend to be OCD about my own crochet. If the color doesn't look right, if it's got a bad section of dye in it where it looks funky, aka the 2 white the sections that were straight white on that one project I did, I have to take them out. If I don't take them out, I'll end up unraveling it, going back and taking it out anyway.
Yes, and we can attest to that.
I'm very picky about my colorings, and not just for my own projects, but the projects I'm making for someone else. Let me see. Hang on just a second. I've got one within reach. I designed, my sister has a little Maltipoo who loves clothing. So I designed a little doggy sweater for her. This particular one, Zoe has lost some weight. So the size I made this last time has gotten a little bit big for her. She's lost a little bit of her pudge. So I'm actually going to take it apart, make it smaller, and I'm actually patterning out the design of stitches so I can give it to my sister and she can make her own dog multiple colors. I have a dog that loves to cuddle and snuggle under fuzzy yarns. I made her a long snuggle blanket that she loves to wrap herself in it. It's a little 8-pound Chihuahua, long-haired Chihuahua.
And she is so cute when she does it.
Pixie, come here.
Donna, excuse me. I've never done this before on a live, but I'm sorry. I have to go run real quick. I will be back in a minute. I'm having a bit of an emergency.
Yep.
Go ahead and finish showing your makes, and I will be right back.
This is Miss Pixie.
I love you, Pixie.
This is Miss Pixie. I actually have 3 that I love to death. And my 3 are the reason that I happen to love other creators that have little dogs. And so I kind of tend to gear myself to people who have little dogs. Lori, the armchair chef, has 2 little Chihuahuas. And I love her dogs. I am taking you upstairs with me because I didn't bring all my makes downstairs. So I'm taking you with me. One of the things I've made many of are super soft super cozy chair pads. I make them for veterans in senior homes. I make them for seniors in wheelchairs and in senior homes. And I recently have started a new baby blanket that is going to be for a neighbor. And it is in a chenille. It's a 3-color chenille and a really unique pattern with front rows and back rows and little puffs. I also do design testing, and Suzanne Baillet with Fosbus Crochet Design had a reversible blanket that I tested that has this beautiful pattern on one side that reverses to give you a completely different look. So I like the challenge of doing anything different. And I see AJ's back.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Perils of being in a car all day.
I'm surprised your back isn't sore.
Oh. Let's just say before I left today, the Voltaren gel that my friend gave me for my knee, I put on my muscles on my back that hurt me so bad.
Wow.
And it actually helped.
And then I have one last project here I can show. That is a hat.
Ooh, I like that.
And
I'm sure you've shown it to me before, and I always say, ooh, I like that.
And it's a scarf.
Okay, yes, I
set.
know I've seen it now. Ambi had said such a cutie. I'm sure that was for the dog, and she said pretty. I'm not sure to which item. Everything you make is so beautiful and pretty.
I love designing original stuff. I like the challenge of coming up with either a stitch I've seen in an item I haven't seen, or a stitch combo I haven't seen. Um, this one I found really interesting. I created the headband. Instead of doing the standard front post, back post, which tends to look rather chunky, I did this in a pattern that makes it look like it's actually a knit. So I kind of like being different. My favorite motto is, why be normal? I'd rather be unique.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I get that. I've started within this last year having that inkling to change things around. Actually, a little bit more than this last year, which is one of the reasons why I kept the name AJ's Personal Touch. My massage name was AJ or Angel's Personal Touch. So, yeah, I kept the personal touch because I like putting my personal touch on things now. Ambi had a question for you. She wanted to know, are there any videos that you're like, I'm not gonna or I don't want to do?
Hmm. Well, I really haven't thought of anything that would be in particular that would be off limits per se. I have obviously you can hear, I have developed a lisp, and it's something that I've developed based on having, I've got a disease called moya moya, and it's terminal, and it causes strokes and TIAs. And one of the things that is done for me, it has created a lisp, so that I now, when I listen to my own voice, I don't hear it. But when I watch my videos back, I do hear it. I hear it very clearly. So, from my perspective, probably any kind of book reading, I probably won't do, because it's not something I was born with or I wouldn't care. It's something that has developed due to my terminal disease, and it bothers me. Okay. So I can't see me doing a book reading where I have to constantly review it and hear that every time I have to say an S sound.
Right. I can see that, and Ambi said okay, but I want you to know, coming from somebody who has talked to you for a while now, it's not as obvious as you think it is. Because every time you bring up the fact that you have a lisp, I haven't personally have not noticed it. And it wasn't until just now that I heard just a little bit, but we are all our own worst critique. So that might be why you're hearing it and thinking that it's extremely obvious to everybody, but it's not really that obvious. At least to me, it's not.
And I think it's partially because,
and Ambi says, I'm sorry, I never realized it.
And I think it's partially because I have seen videos of myself in the past. And so I have heard myself recorded, and I have heard and seen my videos. And so you're right. I'm hypersensitive to the difference. It's just like my writing has changed. It's been one of the differences in it that the moya moya has caused, neurologically has caused a change in my writing. And I used to have the most beautiful writing style. everybody always said so. And I've noticed that my writing is not quite so beautiful anymore. Now, my husband says my writing is prettier than anything he's ever done. And other people say, no, are you kidding? Your writing's gorgeous. But I see the difference.
Right. I get that. I get that. I mean, we all, and Kathy is saying news to me. I never noticed. But I get it. I mean, because of my issues, and you know this because we've discussed this before, my memory is not as good as it was.
Right.
And to the point of my husband told the doctor, I think you need to have her tested. Something is wrong. Her memory is not what it was. So I went, I got tested. I did all of the neurological testing and everything with the psychologist or psychiatrist. I mean, the one with the actual doctorate. And he was like, I don't know what your memory was before, but you're very above average. And there's a study that I'm in, an HIV study, and they do neurological study in there too. And the same thing, the nurse is like, you're above average when it comes to your memory. And I'm like, but it's not what it was. I understand and thank you, I'm above average, but it's not where it was. And to me, it causes a problem. And to my husband, because he knows what it was. So to both of us, it causes an issue because he'll forget that I can't remember like I used to, and then assume that I can still do it, and I can't. So for him, it's caused an issue. I mean, we've worked our way past that, and I make lists and things now, but everybody is always, there's no way you don't have a problem. And it's like, just because you think it's not a problem doesn't mean it's
not a problem. Yeah, I
So,
had to do a neurological exam too because moya moya affects short-term memory cognition. And they basically told me the same thing. Well, you're so high functioning, we're not able to see any loss of function yet. So we'll use this as a baseline so we can tell down the line when your cognition is changing. Well, that's great. It's nice to know that I'm high functioning, but you're not seeing what I know my husband and I see.
right. And that's one of the things that you and I have alike. So that's one of our twinsy things.
Plus, our husbands are both goofy. So,
yes, extremely. And I'm sure there'll be a night that he's here now that I'm starting my lives up again. So if you hear somebody talking, it's him. There was a certain thing I was going to say, given his from the chicken gallery. That's it. If you hear somebody talking from the chicken.
See, and I call it the peanut gallery.
Or the peanut gallery.
Hubby chimes in from the peanut gallery all the time.
Yeah, it's usually the peanut gallery, but my brain went to the chicken gallery. So don't ask me why.
And you won't hear him tonight because he's on nights, which was intentional.
Yes. And my husband's at work too. So, which also was kind of intentional since it worked out that her husband was working tonight. I said that would be a perfect night. No hubbies coming in to say anything. So, I love seeing your dogs. Always do. Did you show all three or was it just Pixie?
No, it was just Pixie because Lita's buried and Tanner is. I can show Tanner if you'll stay still. Tanner. That's my Chewini.
Hey, Tanner, baby.
That's my Chewini. And then Lita.
Chocolita.
Hello, Lita.
You under your covers, baby.
Yeah. See a big eyeball.
I have to say I got a surprise when I came home tonight. My husband's cat will let me pet him. He'll let me love on him. He'll let me pick him up. He'll let me love on him and stuff. But he does not come to me for pets. He has my husband for that. Well, I was gone all day. My husband left this afternoon to go to work when he does. And I came home and they were so excited to see somebody. And I was like, okay, mom's home. And I came in, I did everything. My cat came up to give me a kiss like she always does. And I was sitting down and I was turning the computer on to get ready for the live and everything. And here, all of a sudden, I feel this nudge on my hand. And I looked over and I'm like, no, Kalua's over here. It can't be Kalua. A little bit, one of our fosters, because we have two of our babies and we have two fosters. And I'm looking and I'm like, okay, she's over there. And I knew that Charcoal, the one who would do that to me in the bedroom, was in my bedroom. And I look down and it's Halford. He's like, give me a little loving, Mom. And he's nudging my hand and he's never done that before. And it's like my heart just melted. I was like, oh my goodness, this is like the first time, and Mama's having a bad day. That's the only thing I could think of, is that he knew I was having a bad day. So he came over, he gave me some loving, let me give him a little pet. And then he was like, okay, I'm done. It's time for me to go. And he trotted off. And I messaged my husband. I was like, you'll never believe. So yeah, it was kind of something special for me tonight. So it's ever since last night when I found out, it's been weird. I was actually in the room chatting with my friends, and my friend had came here. We had a turkey for her for Thanksgiving, and she picked it up for her and her kids. And she was only here for a matter of minutes and went home. She's like, I've got to, work all day tomorrow. I'm hoping to be able to go and see him in the hospital. And the next thing I know, I messaged her, told her I forgot to give her something for her grandkids. And a couple minutes later, she messaged back, and I didn't see that she had messaged me back. And I was like, it was time for me to go. And I told everybody I was going to bed early. I was getting ready to take my meds, and I had switched, because when you're on, you can do stuff on the computer at the same time. The screen is just not up, so you don't see everybody. So the screen went down. I saw my screen, and it said her husband's name, and it said, he's gone. So I wrote her back, because I'm thinking, gone? What do you mean? I was like, what do you mean gone? Because I'm like, in my head, I'm going, he's in the hospital. What? Did he get out of his bed? Did he leave the room? How is he gone? Did she somehow go back to see him and he wasn't there? You know, and then she wrote me back and she said he passed away, and I lost it. Um, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I think I screamed, and I went running to find my husband, who was in bed, and woke him up to tell him, because and his first instinct was, he got up, he came out, he started getting dressed. He was like, call her, tell her we're on our way. And then she said, well, we're in the hospital, me and the kids. So she was like, just go ahead and go back, go to bed, and maybe we'll talk tomorrow. So then when I woke up this morning, I saw, unfortunately for them, somebody else posted it on Facebook. So her son hurried up and put a post from the family. And I saw that, and it all said, please give my mom space, don't message her and stuff. So I didn't know, because I'd messaged her a little bit last night, and then I said, I'm giving you your space, I'm going to bed, which she very much appreciated. And I wasn't sure, if that included me or not. So I left a message saying, I'm here for you whenever, you're my sister, whatever you need. And the next thing I knew, not even a minute passed by, literally seconds, and she was messaging me, what are you doing today? Would you like to go with me to do, this, and this? And of course I couldn't tell her no. I wouldn't have told her no. Like I told her, the next couple days, whatever she needs, I'm here for her. So I do have to get mail out tomorrow Terry, I promise I'll get your mail out. I meant to today, but it didn't get out for obvious reasons. So, and I'm sure you understand that. But yeah, I have some things that I have to get done, but she's my main focus right now. So, that's just like I just realized it's Friday, so I didn't get my Worker Whip Friday up. I may hurry up and do one when I'm done with this. If it doesn't get up, it may not get up until tomorrow. And that'll be 3 weeks in a row, but I'm sure all you guys understand that. And I have some of the best subscribers in the world, so I wanted to say thank you to all of you guys. We're going to have to get going here in a minute. It's been an hour and 15 minutes already. Ambi says, people are usually so focused on themselves that they don't notice your flaws. So that was for you, Miss Donna. And then she told me, yes, I screamed. It was just her and Terry left. So yeah, we all knew he was going to go, but he had been doing so well. We didn't expect it to be now. So, but he did keep saying that he was not going to make it till the end of the year. And he just had his 60th birthday last week, and he promised his wife that he would stay around. He would make it to 60. And then she said that in the room last night, she was talking to him and telling him he's doing so good. Who knows? Maybe he'd end up being here till 70. And he looked at her and he told her, you're not allowed to change it. Don't go back on our agreement. You're not allowed to change it. So she thinks he knew. So he died in his sleep, and that's the best way to go as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
So Armchair Chef is here. He
Hi,
says,
Lori.
hi, ladies. Been listening while I've been doing other things. Nice to see you. It's nice to see you too, Lori.
Her ears must have been burning.
And Terry says, and she should be. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for dealing with my being kind of out of my head. But as I said at the beginning, I needed to do this because I needed you guys. So thank you for being here for me. And as I said, I am starting up all of my lives again. You know what, Ambi, before I get out of here, can you put the word drop and see if Nightbot is at least going to work for that?
And Lori, in case you didn't see it, project in the works. Just a
Lord
glimmer.
says, glad to hear some normal chatting. And she said, hi, Ambi, and hi, Nana. Okay, so let's see if Nightbot's going to work. Ambi put in the word drop. Yeah, it looks like it's not working. Evidently, since I turned it on after we got started, it's not working. So I'm sorry, Donna, your channel should have been posting throughout this whole thing.
That's
So
okay. You can always just
I
drop
will
it in the
put it
description.
down in the description for everybody. So actually it may already be there. And I did so her name, Melfina's Magic Crochet, etc., may be a little bit lighter in color because that's what it does when we put the @ in front of it. So that way they also know that they've been posted. So, but I do believe her link is after that. So Lori says, that's so pretty. I'm really glad you were able to work something out.
I stuck with the same exact colors and the same weight.
And it's coming out gorgeous.
Just no wool.
You should see how much she's gotten done in just the last night alone. So, oh, it came up. Ambi's channel came up. Okay. So evidently it didn't want to show everything else. And it took a while for Ambi's channel to come up. Unless Ambi put that in. She may be an admin. Oh, there's Donna's channel. She put your channel up.
Lori, can you drop me a note in the chat to let me know what our due date is for this one? Because I started late. I just need to know to make sure I get it done in time.
And I'll wait for her to do that, and then we'll leave. She tried to drop her. Yeah, it's not working. I will make sure to do it the right way around next time. I thought I had everything open. For that, I
Not a big deal.
apologize to everybody.
You've had a lot to concentrate on.
Yeah. She says, "Oh, by the end of the month, if you want, or when you can."
No, it'll be by the end of the month. It'll be done.
Now, she was basically down to a little strip just 2 days ago, and she's gotten all that done. So
yeah, let me see if I can show the whole. It's about 18 inches done, and it's about, I don't know, 4 foot long, 3.5 foot long. So it's going.
she said, we had a lot of late starters this month. So she wants to know how big you're going.
It's probably, let me see. Well, I'm going to go as big as the yarn will allow because I kept to the same amount of footage. And it's about 36. It's about 36 inches wide. So probably I'm going to get to, I'm probably going to get to 50, maybe 36 or 38 by 50. So it'll be a decent size. It'll be, large baby blanket size.
It's gorgeous. Whoever gets it's going to love it. That's all I have to say. So.
And I don't even have anybody in mind for it. I'm just making it to make something pretty with the yarn I needed to work with.
She says Lapgan 48-ish.
Yeah, Lapgan 48-ish maybe. Probably easily 48-ish.
Okay. Ambi says, "Don't worry, AJ, about anything on your channel being out of sorts or late or whatever. We totally understand." Thank you, Ambi. I mean, I don't really schedule anything. The only thing I have scheduled is our AKA chats together and Friday nights or Friday work a whip. So I try to make sure I get them done. But as we all know, I've missed a couple. So I may go on and do tonight's. I mean, I have my stuff here already around me, so I may just go ahead and do a real quick one. So, but anyway, we are done here. Thank you so much for everybody coming in and getting to know Miss Donna.
Okay, I got to show this.
What are they wanting?
They want to go out.
Oh, okay.
They're telling Mommy it's time to be done. They want to go out.
My cats are going to be lining up soon because at 10 o'clock it's treat time. So I think I'm going to try and hurry up and get that done before it's treat time. And I will see all of you later. And like I said, I'm starting up my lives again. I have a couple people who are already scheduled. So I can't wait. And thank you for being my first one back, Donna. I appreciate it so much.
And you're my first official live chat.
Yeah. So we'll see everybody later. Thanks so much. Good night.
Good night. You ready to go out?